You know, a friend of mine said something the other day that just completely rewired how I see our modern world. It was especially relevant to this new controversy that's brewing right here in Karachi. It was just one simple sentence, but man, it explained so much. Let's dive in.
That's it. That's the sentence my friend Ashfaq shared. We are living in the age of technology. At first, I was like, okay, and? But then he explained that just as all the past eras were defined by the kings who ruled them, our era, it's defined by a single, inescapable force. And this is where it gets really interesting. He made the point that the temperaments of rulers literally shaped their times. The era of Hajjaj bin Yusuf, it was known for its strictness. The time of Caliph Harun al-Rashid, that was an era of dominance. Other periods were defined by righteousness, or tragically, by bloodshed. Each and every period took on the personality of its leader. And that's the crucial point, right? If those past ages were defined by kings, well, our age is defined by technology. It's this invisible force shaping everything we do. You can't fight it. The only thing you can do is adopt it, try to understand it, and use it to make life better. That idea really, really stuck with me. So that brings us to a huge change happening in Karachi right now, the introduction of the e-challan system. It's a perfect example of this whole idea in action, a modern, technological solution for a very, very old problem. But here's the wild part. Instead of making life easier, this brand new system has created an immediate atmosphere of fear. Seriously, people are talking about it like it's some kind of curse or a ghost haunting the streets. There's genuine panic about this new piece of tech. And this just raises a fundamental question. If we're living in this supposed age of technology, why does a tech-based solution like this cause so much public anger? Why do we so often end up resisting these new government initiatives? What is it that creates this constant disconnect between what the state orders and how the public reacts? I've thought about this a lot, and I believe the answer is surprisingly simple. It's not really about the technology itself. It all boils down to one word: attitude. Specifically, the attitude with which the government deals with the public. That approach, right from the start, sets the stage for either cooperation or conflict. And this perfectly illustrates the problem. Look at the government's approach. They just started issuing ticket after ticket with these really high fines. It felt less like a reform and a lot more like an attack. That kind of heavy-handed enforcement with no real public conversation was practically guaranteed to create conflict. And the public's reaction isn't just coming from nowhere. People are saying, wait a minute, before you start fining us for traffic violations, how about you fix these broken roads? How about you do something about the rampant street crime? You're making it harder for us to earn a living while tightening this grip with fines. And you know what? Those are some pretty reasonable demands. So when all this happens, people stop seeing new laws as reforms. Instead, they start seeing them as just another tactic to extract money from their pockets. The whole thing is viewed not as a tool for safety, but as a form of government exploitation. But okay, let's just pause for a second. What if we step back from all the anger and frustration and just look at this system objectively? What if we try to see the e-challan not as a punishment, but as the reform it's actually intended to be? At its core, the e-challan system is a pretty revolutionary step. Its true purpose isn't just to hand out fines. No, it's designed to make people aware of traffic laws, to bring some order to the chaos on our roads, and ultimately to keep people safe. Let's break down the goals. First, transparency. With cameras watching, the potential for bribery just disappears. Second, reducing accidents. It discourages all that reckless behavior, like speeding or breaking signals, that costs lives. And that brings us to the most important goal of all: protecting the lives and property of every single person on the road. And, this isn't some wild, crazy experiment. Automated systems like this have been working successfully for years in countries all around the world. They are a proven way to create more disciplined and safer societies. If we want those kinds of results, we have to be open to the technology that makes it happen. So the crucial point here is that this isn't just on the government, and it isn't just on the public. This is a shared responsibility. Both sides have to change their approach if this is ever going to work. And this slide lays out exactly what that shared responsibility looks like. On the public side, it means trying to see this as a reform, not a penalty, and being open to the technology. But, and this is a big but, the government has a huge role to play here.
understanding public psychology, making sure the system is transparent, and actually listening to and resolving complaints. It has to be a two-way street.
Which brings me right back to what my friend said at the very beginning. We are living in the age of technology. We can't escape it. The only path forward is to move with it. Our success, both as individuals and as a nation, depends on our ability to adopt these tools, not with fear, but with cooperation. So the real question is, are we ready to do the work together?